wrote such a great article for Newsday about Juan Soto. You got to speak with him. I'm so curious how he's been able to remain patient at the plate throughout all of this and a tough start to the year.
I mean, I am absolutely baffled by the fact that he's able to do it, but that's simply the type of player he is. You think about this guy, he's 26 years old, he's coming onto a team, he has the biggest contract in North American history. The pressure that he must be feeling. And when you're in that position and maybe the balls aren't falling in, even though you're hitting the ball hard, you're hitting the ball with authority, you can start chasing pitches. But he stayed patient, and I thought that was the most impressive thing over his first 2 months. And the fact that he's doing that, you know, talking to him, he says, I know that I am at my best when I have the ability to take pitches. And one of the things I really liked about him is he kind of gets, like, he gets excited about being able to one-up the pitcher. He gets excited about that ball that's just a little bit out of the strike zone that he takes. And because he's able to do that, because he has this joy in addition to just this preternatural ability to play baseball, those two things together, we're seeing the results right now. I mean, this is incredible. This is the guy the Mets paid for.
Yeah, and he looks a little more locked into, to your point, what you're talking about. Adam, what are the challenges for a player to remain so patient when you get a big contract like that and a lot of money?
I don't have a lot of experience getting the big money like that, but I will say that my father always used to say, you know, remember that you are enough. Who you are is what you need to be out there every day. Don't try to be somebody you're not. I think Juan does a great job of that. And really, that's the separator between great and, like, Hall of Fame great. It's just like remembering who he is, what his game is, and this is his game. He's going to wear the pitcher out. He's not going to chase. It's very frustrating to face guys like this. And he knew that sooner or later the tide would turn, and that's what we've been seeing.
Gang, he's made for the moment. I mean, we saw that last year with the Yankees. We saw it in his second year. He couldn't even legally drink, and he's carrying a team to a World Series, hitting home runs against Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole. And you just knew it was a matter of time before Juan Soto was going to get smoking from a New York Met perspective. It's an all-time month of June. It's one of the best individual months a Met has ever had. That's how outrageous the stats are. There's one thing that's lacking, though, Danny.
What's that?
And I'm grading on a curve here because we know how special Soto is.
Yeah.
He's got to be better with runners in scoring position because those big at-bats where Soto last year shined from opening day through the ALCS through the entire postseason, you wanted him up with the game on the line. You wanted him up with 2 outs, runners second and third. He hasn't had that success yet, but I know it's coming because much like you wanted to preach patience on Juan Soto based upon, hey, tough start, you know he's going to hit. Those big hits in those big spots, they'll come.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the whole team to do better with runners in scoring position, by the way. Laura, we talked about this earlier. The players held a closed-door meeting. You reported 6 of 7 guys spoke. Brandon Nimmo told you that. I'm curious how Juan Soto viewed his role in his first team meeting with the New York Mets.
So he was actually one of the guys that spoke. And, you know, I mean, having covered him on the Yankees, I never found him to be a particularly outspoken guy. But, again, you don't see everything. We only get 50 minutes before the clubhouse closes down. But when I asked him about his leadership style, the one thing that he says is that I view myself as a rookie. And so because he views himself as a rookie, he kind of takes that sort of learning approach to things. He asks questions, he wonders what's going on, and he tries to impart that knowledge on other people. A lot of his leadership style, he won't call himself a leader, is by doing. So essentially he's leading by example, while other guys maybe will be more vocal in those situations.
This reminds me a lot of Albert Pujols, actually. I remember a quote that he would give every single spring training where he would say, I'm just trying to make the team. I'm just trying to make the team, even though he had hit 10 straight seasons of, 300, 30, and 100. And sometimes it's just a mindset thing. I think Juan Soto wants to remain hungry. He wants to do his talking with his bat. And he really, he doesn't have a desire to be that, vocal guy in front of the media every single day. And I think that's okay because, honestly, for him, the value is what he's doing on the field, and that's kind of it. Other than that, it's a lead by example situation, and that's super valuable as well. But not everybody's cut out to do the rest of it.
I think anyone would be happy to be compared to Albert Pujols. By the way, no rookies in any of that.